What is going on, beautiful people? I hope you are having an amazing day. Welcome back to another episode of the Thrive Forever Fit Show. I'm your host, Jay Nixon, and if you know anything about me or you've listened to this show for any amount of time, you know that my goal is to help you live your happiest, healthiest life while on the quest to cure obesity. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I am immensely grateful that you spend your time listening to me rant and ramble about all things health, wellness, abundance, and opportunity. It absolutely means the world to me. Today's episode is sponsored by my brand new weight loss transformation program called Flex. Flex stands for a flexible lifestyle eating and exercise program. And my promise is this: it will be the last program you ever need to purchase. It is a weight loss program that is not a diet. I know that just blew your mind. This is not a diet. There's no pills, potions, or false promises that you have to purchase. There's no fad, no covers of magazines, no doctors in lab coats. This is real deal lifestyle transformation that is going to change your life forever. You will never need to do another diet. You're going to get expert level support and accountability. You're going to get transformative information about how to eat, when to eat, what to eat. There's 3 reasons that people struggle with weight loss. It's too much, too often, or the wrong combination. They're either eating too much food, too often, or they're eating the wrong combinations. And I'm going to help you fix all 3 of those. Thousands of people just like you have ditched the depressive diet roller coaster, have come on board with the Thrive Forever Fit Flex program and are transforming their lives. We've got clients that have lost 10 pounds in the first 7 days, 15 pounds, 20 pounds. We've got clients that are over 130 pounds down. Guys, I promise you, this is the last program you'll ever need to purchase. And I am more than honored to offer it to you so that I can help you on your journey. All right, let's get to the show. How important is sleep to my overall weight loss success? This is one of the #1 questions that I've received over the entirety of my career, actually. So today we're going to really dive into why sleep is one of the most important variables when it comes to losing weight. To be quite frank, when it comes to just having a high quality life in general, sleep is one of the most important factors that you need to focus on. So sleep plays a crucial role in weight management, and getting enough high quality sleep is important to anyone who is trying to lose weight. Here are a few reasons why. Sleep affects your appetite hormones. Sleep deprivation can disrupt the balance of hormones that regulate hunger and fullness. These include leptin and ghrelin. This can lead to increased feelings of hunger, cravings for high-calorie foods, which can make it more difficult to stick to a healthy eating program. The second thing is sleep affects your metabolism. Sleep can also disrupt the body's metabolism, making it harder to burn calories and lose weight. This is important because sleep deprivation can lead to insulin resistance, which can impair the body's ability to use glucose as energy. And if you cannot use the glucose as energy, that glucose is going to be stored as body fat. Sleep also affects energy levels. When you're tired, you're more likely to skip your workouts or any kind of physical activity for that matter. You won't even go on a walk, which can actually slow down your weight loss progress. And it also affects your decision-making when it comes to the quality of foods that you're going to ingest during those times of low energy. Sleep also affects your stress levels. Chronic sleep deprivation can increase stress levels, which can trigger the release of cortisol, which is a hormone that can promote fat storage and make it harder for you to lose weight. So overall, getting enough high-quality sleep is as important as any other part of your weight loss program. You need to aim for around 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. And you have to prioritize good sleeping habits. So I'm going to tell you right now about what the stages of sleep are, because this is important to understand. I believe when you're diving into and trying to improve anything in your life, in understanding what it is that's taking place is really important. So I'm not somebody who just likes to say, sleep better. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. That sounds like a great idea. Who doesn't want to sleep better? But if I can get you to understand the 5 stages of sleep and why they're important and what happens during those stages, there's a higher likelihood that you're going to prioritize making sleep one of the crucial factors in your daily routine. So the stages of sleep and why they matter. There are generally 5 stages of sleep, each with its own characteristics and functions. These stages are defined by the activity of the brain, and they can be actually measured by an EEG machine. It's an encephalopathy or something of that nature. I'm probably butchered the word totally, but just know EEG. It can actually measure the functionality of the brain. So it actually records the electrical signals that are going on in the brain during these various stages of sleep. So stage number 1, this is the transition from being fully awake to sleep. In this stage, your brain produces alpha and theta waves, which are slower than the beta waves produced when you're fully awake. This stage typically lasts only a few minutes, and if you were awoken during this stage, you may not realize you were ever even asleep. So it's one of those things where you kind of come in and out of that grogginess, like maybe you're in the car, maybe you're on the couch watching a movie or something of that nature, and you don't even really realize you're asleep, but you were actually asleep for that little brief, microcosm of time. So that's stage number 1. Stage number 2 is, this is a slightly deeper sleep stage. It's characterized by the presence of sleep spindles and K complexes on the EEG. Now, I know that's scientific and probably doesn't matter to you, but I really want to dive into a little bit of the reasonings and what's going on inside of the brain. So the presence of these sleep spindles and the K complexes on the EEG show that you're in stage 2 of sleep. So sleep spindles are brief bursts of brain activity that help keep your brain from being awoken by external stimuli. K complexes are sharp waves that may help suppress arousal in response to noises or other disturbances. This stage typically lasts about 20 minutes. So you can see why this would be important, because very rarely are we in that completely quiet environment. Very rarely are we in that completely, what I would call, perfect sleep bubble. And so there's always going to be noises of dogs or cars or just random things happening in the environment. That's why these sleep spindles and K complexes are so vastly important, to help you be able to suppress the stimuli of those arousal things that might wake you up. So this lasts about 20 minutes, right? Stage 3, this stage is also known as the slow wave sleep. So SWS, or delta sleep. You've probably all heard of delta sleep. And it's characterized by the presence of delta waves on the EEG. These are the slowest of all the brain waves, and they indicate a very deep sleep state. In this stage, the body repairs and regenerates tissue, builds bones and muscles, and strengthens the immune system. This stage typically lasts for about 30 minutes. Now, let's think about this for a second. Stage 3, probably one of the most important stages of sleep, right? The delta stage, because this is where the body repairs, regenerates, builds, strengthens, and it lasts about 30 minutes. But the truth is, most people who have really poor sleep habits rarely make it into this stage of sleep. And this is the problematic state of why you're not getting the recovery and the regeneration and the immune system boosting actions of deep sleep. So stage 3, delta. Stage 4 is also known as REM sleep, rapid eye movement. I know everyone's heard of this. During this stage, the eyes move more rapidly and the brain is highly active, similarly to the activity that occurs during wakefulness. So this stage of sleep is when most of your dreaming occurs. REM sleep is important for cognitive function and memory consolidation. This stage typically lasts about 20 minutes, and as the night progresses, the amount of time spent in REM sleep increases. So you're going to go in and out of these stages of sleep as you're starting to show here, right? 30 minutes here, 20 minutes here. And as the night progresses, the time spent in the REM cycle is actually going to increase. Stage 5. This stage is the transition period between REM sleep and wakefulness. During this stage, the brain's activity starts to resemble that of a fully woken state, and the body begins to prepare for waking up. This stage lasts a few minutes. So it's a quick phase out of that stage 4 into the stage 5, and then back into your wakefulness. So it's important to note that these stages of sleep do not occur in a linear fashion throughout the night. Instead, they cycle through predictable patterns, which is mostly going to be your SWS occurring in the first half of the night and your REM sleep occurring during the second half of the night. So a healthy sleep cycle involves cycling through all 5 stages of sleep multiple times throughout the night. I know most of you guys are thinking, well, holy crap, if I only stay in that for 20 minutes, what's happening the rest of the time? If I only REM sleep for 30 minutes, what's happening the rest of the time? These are going to be cycles and patterns throughout the night. So it's important to understand when you're in which phase of which pattern, what's actually happening in the body. And you can see where the importance of that stage 3, that delta sleep, really, that's the SWS phase, the slow wave sleep. It really makes a massive impact on the body, because this is where you repair and regenerate and build and fortify and strengthen and all of those things. Right. And then the REM sleep, the rapid eye movement, is important because this is where you're getting the cognitive benefits of memory, the cognitive memory consolidations, the cognitive functions, where your brain's doing all of those beautiful things that it needs to do. Some of us aren't cycling through all 5 stages in a predictable, productive pattern. And this is where the issues come in. So now let's talk about 8 steps to improving, because this is what you're all here for. You want to know, how do I improve my quality of sleep? Step number 1. Some of these are going to seem very, very simple, but they're highly overlooked and they're highly mismanaged by most people, because we get in these patterns of, I'm going to use the word destructive. We get in these patterns of sleep destructive behaviors, like watching television in bed right up until we go to bed, having our iPhone this far from our face all night long, and then thinking we're going to go right to sleep. Disruptive sleep patterns based on just different functions of life, not going to bed at a regular schedule. So let's jump into these 8 steps to improve. Step number 1 is stick to a regular sleep schedule. Now, I know that sounds super simple, right? But trying to go to bed and trying to wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends, will actually help your body regulate its internal clock and improve your quality of sleep. It will actually improve the cycle of those 5 phases of sleep. Because remember, we don't go through those linearly, and we're cycling through those at all stages of the night. So you can see how if you had a schedule, your body could predict the patterns and then could get in a better schedule for yourself. So when you keep a regular sleep schedule, you actually train your body and your brain to know when it's time to sleep and when it's time to wake up. And this makes it easier to fall asleep, stay asleep, and sleep soundly throughout the night. So number 1, very simple. Nobody didn't know that. Keep a regular sleep schedule, even on the weekends. Step 2, create a relaxing bedtime routine. So creating the bedtime routine that helps you relax and wind down before sleep is vital to the predictability of those 5 cycles. This may include taking a warm shower or bath, reading a book, listening to calming meditative music. Doing the same routine every night can signal to the body that it's time to relax. So if you have the same pattern that you do every single night, you take a warm bath, you read your book, you meditate, your body will actually start to adapt to that cycle, and it will know that it's time to start to relax and start to wind down. And you'll actually begin that stage 1 of the sleep cycle, basically based on a time schedule. So it's best to avoid any activities that are going to be stimulating before bed or stressful before bed, like watching TV, checking your phone, checking your email, having a high-level conversation. Sometimes what I do before bed to get all of that stuff out of my brain is I just do a brain dump. And I'm like, hey, tomorrow, these are the things I'm going to tackle. That way I don't have to sit and lay in bed at night and think about it. Step 3, create a sleep-conducive environment. Now, this is one of the things that I see people go very, very south with. So ensuring that the bedroom is dark, quiet, and cold. using curtains, blinds, eye mask to block out any light, earplugs, white noise, anything to block out the sound, to ensure, in making sure that your mattress, your pillows, your sheets, everything is in a sleep conducive environment. Have you ever slept, you ever got down to a hotel and it was so uncomfortable, the sheets were uncomfortable, there's light coming through every crook and crevice, there's weird noises, I mean, you just name it, and it's just, you don't sleep worth a crap. But have you also been to one of those hotels where it's like almost they have blackout shades, you can't hear a peep, the bed is like, 15 million thread count Egyptian cotton, it's like the perfect temperature, the perfect, you sleep like a rock. So your bedroom needs to be a place where you feel calm and comfortable and relaxed. This is going to actually help promote the sleep. So if you have trouble sleeping, considering any of these variables might be the reason you're not. Could be your mattress, could be your pillows, could be your bedding, could be the amount of light coming in through your windows, could be all of these things combined. So it's important to address and assess your sleep environment if you're not getting high quality sleep. Step 4, you guys are getting pissed about this one. This is probably most people's main reason why they're not sleeping well. Limiting your screen exposure before bedtime. The blue light of the screens, smartphone, computer, iPad, TV, actually interferes with your body's production of melatonin. So that means if you're not producing melatonin, right? So melatonin goes up at night, cortisol goes down. In the morning, cortisol comes up, melatonin goes down. If you're ingesting these blue lights, your eyes don't know, your brain doesn't know that it's time to go to sleep, and melatonin won't be produced, and therefore it's really hard for you to fall asleep. So you need to try to avoid screen time at least 1 hour before bed, at least 1 hour. And if you must use your screen before bed, considering getting some of those wacky blue light glasses that actually filter out all of the blue lights. I've actually got some I use when I'm on my computer late at night. Alternatively, you can also try to do other things than using your screens. Get an actual book, right? Meditate, do things that aren't going to stimulate the brain to be active. The blue lights actually trigger your body to believe it has to be awake. So you're actually doing yourself a massive disservice. Number 5, very obvious, you want to avoid stimulants. So avoiding consuming caffeine, nicotine, alcohol close to bedtime, because what happens is it's going to interfere with the sleep pattern. Your body's going to be stimulated. Think about avoiding stimulants, stimulated to be awake. So caffeine and nicotine stimulate the body to be awake and fully aware. Alcohol actually may help you fall asleep initially, but it's going to disrupt your sleeping patterns throughout the night. Have you ever noticed how if you've had a couple glasses of wine, a couple cold beers, whatever it is, whatever you're into, you can fall asleep great, like you're out. But very rarely do you sleep throughout the night. And this shows you that the 5 stages of the sleep patterns is being disrupted by the alcohol consumption. So it's best to avoid alcohol when you can. And it's best to not have your sleep pattern disrupted by habitual or routine alcohol use right before bed. Some people will say, well, I need a glass of wine to relax. Well, if you're having that glass of wine to relax, and listen, I'm a wine drinker. I love a good cocktail, love some champagne. I'm not telling you not to consume alcohol. This is not that call. What I'm telling you is that if your sleep patterns are disrupted and you wake up in the morning feeling like you got hit by a Mack truck and you haven't slept a wink, it might be the booze causing the disruption. It might be the caffeine that you're having at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It might be the nicotine you're consuming right before bed. All of these things, and especially if you're combining these things, you are going to have trouble sleeping. Step number 6, pretty obvious. Regular exercise will improve sleep. Regular exercise can help improve your quality of sleep. You don't want to go for a 30-minute high-intensity interval workout about 30 minutes before bed. But if you work out earlier in the day, your body is going to be more readier to begin those sleep cycles because you are going to have exerted energy. Exercise can actually help you feel more alert during the day and more tired at night. So it's really obvious, right? We don't need to beat this, into your head. Like, we know that when we exert ourselves, when we have physical activity, when we move our bodies, there's a higher likelihood that we're going to sleep better at night. So if you're struggling to have great night sleeps, maybe incorporate a little bit of movement into your day. I believe it will definitely help you. I know I sleep better when I move my body, hands down. Number 7, this is a big one, right? Avoid or manage stress. All of you guys just like rolled your eyes at me, like avoid stress. Okay, it's a great idea, Jay. So stress and anxiety actually interfere with your sleep. I mean, we are all raising our hands right now, right? If you're stressed out, do you sleep good? No. Even though you're exhausted, you don't sleep worth a crap. So this is why all of these things in alignment might help you manage that stress better. That meditation, that reading, that brain dump I suggested, not having alcohol because that's going to exacerbate stress, maybe taking a warm bath, the whole blackout of the room, making it cold in there. All of those things are really going to be important for you. So stress, anxiety will interfere with sleep. That's not, nobody just went like, there wasn't an epiphanal moment. So trying to have relaxation techniques such as deep breathing, meditation will help manage your stress even during the day, but it will also help improve your sleep. It will also help calm the brain, quiet the brain, which will help it relax, because that's going to be important to get that brain to kind of slow down in order for you to be able to go into that first stage of sleep. Because we know when we're wound up that even though we're exhausted, but you're wound up, you can't get into that first stage of sleep. And then what do? You usually revert to some of the other things that we've talked about, the booze, right? Because the alcohol will actually help you get into that sleep state. So that's why number 8, I made kind of a little redundant. So number 8 is avoid alcohol before bedtime. And I don't want to beat a dead horse on this, but I want to get into a little bit of the details on why this is so important. While alcohol may help you fall asleep initially, it can actually disrupt your sleep later at night. Alcohol interferes with normal sleep cycles, reducing the amount of time that you spend in deep sleep. So that stage 3 and that stage 4, that delta and that REM, you're not going to get there because alcohol is going to keep you from getting into that phase. And you're going to wake up more frequently through the night, meaning you're going to start that cycle over and over and over again. And as a result, you're going to feel tired and groggy the next day. Even if you think you slept for 8 hours, you were in bed for 8 hours, you're going to wake up feeling exhausted. So to improve your quality of sleep, it's best to avoid alcohol before bed. If you do decide to drink, try to stop that consumption at least a few hours before bedtime so that your body can actually start to metabolize the alcohol and you'll actually be able to have a better night's sleep. Number 9, this is big for me. This might be the most important thing for me on the entire list. Maybe some of you as well. If I am hot, I cannot sleep. So number 9, step 9 is the importance of room temperature. Temperature plays a crucial role in the body's ability to achieve quality sleep. Our bodies naturally cool down as we fall asleep, and they maintain a cool environment during the night. They maintain like this cooler temperatures while we're actually sleeping. When you start to wake up, your body temperature starts to rise with you. So if you're not in a cool environment, you may have trouble sleeping. In fact, research shows, this is going to blow some of your minds. Research shows that colder temperatures in the bedroom between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit, 16 to 19 degrees Celsius, can actually promote deeper, more restful sleep. And I can attest to this. If I'm cold, even if I'm a little colder than I think I want to be, I genuinely and generally, that's a tough word to say, sleep better than if I'm warm. If I'm hot, I will not sleep. So a warm room can actually interfere with your body's natural cooling process, lending to restlessness, discomfort during the night. And the warmer temperatures actually affect your circadian rhythm, which regulates your sleep and wake cycle. As we go to sleep, our body's temperature wants to cool down. As we wake up, our body's temperature wants to increase. So exposing ourselves to cooler temperatures in the evening can actually signal our bodies that it's time to wind down and prepare for sleep. So overall, creating a sleep-conducive environment that is cool and comfortable can actually help you sleep better throughout the night. So I know some of you guys are rolling your eyes because the idea of having a room at 60 to 67 degrees is just caveman. I mean, not cavemanish, but like polar bearish or Eskimo living. But I'm telling you, it actually works wonders. I try to get it as cold in the house as Lori will allow so that I can sleep better. It makes a world of difference, guys, I promise. So try number 9 if you're actually struggling to sleep deep at night. Now let's talk about some supplements that actually promote sleep. They'll actually help you get into deeper states of sleep. Number 1 is melatonin. So you can actually microdose melatonin. I prefer like a spray melatonin where you can actually control the dose under the tongue. So melatonin is a hormone that is naturally produced by the body to regulate sleep and wake cycles. Melatonin can actually help you regulate those cycles of sleep as well, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep. So I'll say it again, melatonin and cortisol are inverse of each other, meaning when melatonin is up, cortisol is down. That's the ideal component for sleep. But if you're doing some of those disruptive things, your body doesn't know it's supposed to produce melatonin, and therefore your cortisol is staying high at night and your melatonin is staying down. When you wake up in the morning, the exact opposite happens. Melatonin comes down, cortisol comes up. That's the sleep-wake cycle. So you might want to try microdosing melatonin if you're someone who has trouble falling asleep and staying asleep. The second thing is GABA. So GABA is known as a neurotransmitter that plays a role in regulating the brain's activity and promoting relaxation. Some of the research suggests that GABA can actually improve the quality of sleep by reducing stress and anxiety and actually promoting relaxation of the brain. So if you're somebody who has that really active brain at night, like you're really anxious or you feel stressed, GABA might be a great supplement for you to do some research on and maybe implement into your nighttime routine. There's also a supplement called Melissa officinalis. So it's actually lemon balm extract. So lemon balm extract is an herb that is traditionally used to calm or relax a person. So you can drink lemon tea, lemon balm tea. It actually helps reduce insomnia. So in a lot of cultures, if someone has trouble sleeping, they'll actually drink some lemon balm tea before they go to bed. And this will actually help them increase the ability to go to sleep and the ability to stay asleep and reduce some of the insomnia symptoms. Another thing is called ashwagandha. So ashwagandha is an adaptive herb that has traditionally been used in Ayurvedic medicine forever. What it's used for is actually stress reduction and sleep promotion. So ashwagandha is a specific type of extract that when it's standardized in this high concentration, it can actually reduce the signs and symptoms of insomnia. It will actually help your body relax. It'll calm your brain. It'll calm all of the stresses and anxieties of the body. Next is L-theanine. L-theanine is actually an amino acid that is commonly found in tea leaves. It can also be used in a supplemental form. You can take it before you go to bed. It's going to be found in a lot of your sleep supplements, but it's basically an amino acid that helps the body relax. It helps promote relaxation. It's been studied to show that it reduces the signs of anxiety, stress, even some reduction in ADHD. There was a study of 98 adolescent boys that found that if that had ADHD, that had been diagnosed with ADHD, and by taking L-theanine supplements after 6 weeks, their sleep cycles and their nighttime routine and activities actually improved drastically. It actually just helped them relax a little bit, and it's just a natural amino acid that we need anyway. Lastly is magnesium. Everybody has heard of magnesium for sleep. Magnesium is a mineral that is essential for the body's functions, of all functions, but it actually helps regulate sleep. So magnesium can actually help reduce insomnia, improve sleep quality, and there's various forms of magnesium. So one of the best forms of magnesium for sleep is called magnesium glycinate. So this form of magnesium is highly absorbable, and it actually is shown to have a calming effect on the body. So it's going to promote relaxation. It's going to reduce anxiety. It's going to give that body that relaxed state that it needs to be able to sleep. So if you want to try this for sleep, make sure you're getting the magnesium glycinate. There's various forms of magnesium. Some of them are good for helping you go to the restroom. Magnesium glycinate is really good for helping you relax. There's also chamomile teas, lavender teas, which we've all heard of. Those might be alternatives for you to try as well. But the important thing is, and let's touch on this. What's the likelihood of you being able to achieve all 9 steps every single night? Probably not that great. But if you can look at these 9 steps of improving your sleep quality, and you can figure out the ones that are the most disruptive for you, if you can start to make adjustments and changes around those, it will drastically improve your quality of sleep. And I want to come back to the main reason for this topic of conversation. If you're not getting the results from your weight loss that you would like, if you're not losing weight like you would like, and you say that you're doing everything else right, you're eating great, you are moving your body, you're doing all the things, right? You've eliminated sugar and high carbs, and you're not over consuming, you're not eating too much, you're not eating too often, you're not eating the wrong combination of foods. Sleep might be the missing link. Quality sleep might be the missing link between you and the weight loss that you deserve and desire. So these are going to be worth taking a peek at. And here's the last thing I'll leave you with. If you're not sleeping properly, and the properly is a variable word, if you're not sleeping and you're not cycling through these stages of sleep several times throughout the night, and your body is not able to repair, recover, strengthen, fortify, rejuvenate, you can see why you would have trouble losing weight, because sleep deprivation actually disrupts the hormones necessary for your body's metabolism to do the things you want and need your body's metabolism to do. It's that simple. So give sleep the priority and the attention that it needs, and it might just be the missing link for you on your weight loss journey. Again, don't go radical. Go through the stages of sleep, understand what they are, and then go through the steps. And I said 8 steps, but I gave you 9. I always like to give a little bit of a bonus. And that last one is really something that's been super impactful in my life. So I wanted to give you that step 9 as a bonus to keeping the room cool. But if you go through these 9 steps and you find a piece of the puzzle, could be your mattress, could be your bedding, could be the temperature, could be the stimuli that you're ingesting right before bed. I guarantee you it's something simple that could make a radically massive improvement in your sleep. And if you improve your sleep, you're going to improve your life. If you improve your life, you're going to improve your weight loss. This is worth giving some attention to. So I hope this helps. I know this helps. Go through this, walk through the stages of sleep, walk through the 9 steps that I gave you for improving your sleep. And I can guarantee you that when you sleep better, your body's going to function better. And when your body functions better, your weight loss will improve. All right. Hey, before you go, I'd just like to say thank you again for listening to the Thrive Forever Fit podcast and watching on YouTube. It means the absolute world to me. And if you would do me one favor, and that is simply subscribe and review this podcast on whatever platform it is that you enjoy it on, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, doesn't matter. I would absolutely be so grateful and so thankful if you do that for me. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you again next week with an awesome episode. Bye.